Hi listeners, welcome to a new episode of Southern Museums. As we mentioned in the previous chapter, today we are going to visit el Museo de la Exploración Rudolph Amandus Phillipi. This museum shares and honors the legacy of one of the most distinguished scientists and explorers of the 19th century. Phillipi was a naturalist born in Berlin, Germany, who arrived Chile in 1851. There, he dedicated to exploring and studying Chilean biodiversity. Through this work in botany, zoology, and paleontology, he discovered new species and made significant advancements in the scientific exploration of the zone. Before entering the museum, we will make a mention of the Jardín Medicinal Juan Pardo, which is outside the museum. This garden is named after a Chilean botanist and doctor who was known for promoting the use and study of native plants with healing properties. In his honor, a 10-meter-long garden in the shape of a human was created, where each part of the body contains plants that can help with various ailments. Here we can find plants such as matico, menta, tucílago, hinojo, cilantro, paico, among others.
The museum has 2 floors aimed at recollecting different botanical studies, photographs, scientific tools or objects, along with some period furniture. The place and exhibitions commemorate the life and work of the naturalist Rudolph Phillipi. Let's make a brief analysis of what is inside each room. The first room, El Orden Prodigioso del Mundo Natural, is an exhibition related to the natural world, presenting, for example, graphics that shows the variation in flora at different altitudes and latitudes. The second and third room exhibits the life and contribution of the scientist, highlighting his arrival to Chile in 1951 and his legacy on the scientific development of the country. The next one is dedicated to the biodiversity of Valdivia, their forest, flora and fauna. In the fifth room, we can find a little bit of the history of the house where the museum is located, explaining historical data like the transfer of the house, for example. For us, the most interesting part of the museum was the room called El Gabinete de Rudolph Amandus, which is made to recreate the office and workspace of the scientist, with objects of his property like his notebook or his glasses. The room, La Exploración del Territorio, referenced a few scientists and explorers that worked at the country, with an emphasis on Philip. The last space recollects a wide variety of coins, money, medals, and stamps from different places and periods of time.
Today we spoke with the museum's collection manager, Roberto Rojas Pantoja, who gave us his perspective about the museum and its objectives.
It stands out for being oriented to the biodiversity of the Valdivian ecoregion and plant endemics, and was also one of the first that Phillipi explored. In relation to the objective is to disseminate the contribution of 19th century naturalists, as well as the role of the current science to the conservation of the biodiversity of the Valdivian region and the national territory.
Its permanent exhibitions, which are in each of the rooms, show current specimens, along with illustrations, endemic species and objects brought by the naturalists of the 19th and 20th centuries to this region. This museum has a permanent museography and an exterior work, which is carried out in the Juan Pardo Medicinal Garden. The general objective of museological management in relation to Phillipi has to do with being able to manage the use and permanent operation of the museum and the fulfillment of its objective. In my opinion, the most relevant thing is that it is the only natural history museum in the region, and probably in several regions they do not have museums like this, and also that it houses part of the collection of Rudolph Amandus Phillipi, both engravings, texts, archives, objects that greatly enrich the museum. So, this is it. This was Southern Museums for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this journey. We can't wait to do our next project and show you the many things about Southern Chile. Take care of yourselves and see you around.